All right, my friends, this is the new end of season award montage from Football Manager. Let's see what it says. Some of you voted last episode as to your player of the season, signing of the season, all that kind of stuff. I think most of you thought Dwight McNeil would get the player of the season. I'm most interested, because there's still time for those comments to be coming through by the time I'm recording this, as to who you're going to think the signing of the season was, because there were so many. Like, I saw a Svensson for how long he was, like long-term impact or something like that, and Ayer because of long-term impact, you know, like just kind of interesting. So the new arrivals, look at all of them. The season saw comings and goings, some of which provided to be shrewd signings and who contributed a lot over the course of the campaign. Why is it highlighting Mendes? The board are content with the deal to sign Mendes. Oh, is it? It's defaulted to select. You can see the selection option there to the bottom. Okay. Oh, so it's kind of giving you, now that we're at the end of the season, here's the board's reactions now that we got to the end of the season. Paolo?
Hey viewers, this is Editor GHG cutting in here. The numbers that you're seeing under each player from a transfer cost are not accurate. That's a bug that I just realized. For example, it'll show you Marcus Alonso at 25.16 million from Fiorentina. That's what Chelsea paid Fiorentina. That's not what we paid Chelsea. It does the same thing with Clinton Mola. Though some of these are not accurate. Some of them are, which is also confusing. But it looks like in some cases, maybe it's just on the loan players, it's actually looking at the prior transfer fee rather than the loan fee that we paid. So I think that's kind of interesting.
Oh, lower wage than we would expect of someone of his ability. He's a B-. Not that he played well. No. Pleased to bring him in on loan. Favreau, lower wage than expected. Mola, very happy because we paid $8,500 a week for him. I've tried to reloan him. They said no. And I've tried to buy him for $2 million like we originally agreed, and they said no. Svensson, C+, mainly the player to get a lower wage. Oh, okay. I mean, he's a 6.95 with 10 assists. Oh, how could you not be? Anyway, Ayer, very pleased. Minimum fee release clause. They're happy because of the release clause. We again, because of we paid whatever it was, 23.4 million. So like triple what we paid in terms of the release clause. Wilshere, A+. Both the transfer fee, which was 0, and the wage. Okay, Elise, B+. It's all about the wage. It's all about they don't care about the performance. They care about the wage. That's hilarious. Classic board stuff. The Clarets struggled to find their best form at times, but were otherwise able to enjoy a campaign which saw them produce a highly respectable finish. Considering, my friends, we were expected to finish, I just want to remind you, 18th, where Everton got relegated, and Tottenham are in 17th. Cheers to that, is what I would say. 91% home attendance. Again, this run here at the end is just brutal. This game, if we'd won this game and this game, obviously we're clearly, I mean, we could have even been potentially in the actual Europa League. I still think it's not a terrible thing. Biggest one, 3-0 over Everton on January 2nd. McNeil with a hat trick. Match to remember. Same scoreline. Why was it a match to remember? Was it just like we played really well overall as a squad? It's also tied for the biggest win. Is it counting this as the biggest win because they got relegated and are a bigger squad? Goal of the season. Now, this has been a bee in my bonnet, a bugaboo, if you will, because the goal of the season is usually like, Let's see. Svensson in the 3rd minute, a truly memorable goal from Burnley right back Svensson as he hits a well-struck effort. Let's try it again. Here it is. Okay, Cork. Svensson's going to be somewhere over here on the right. Swings it over. I mean, okay. I can't remember we didn't have anybody doing like a bicycle kick or anything like that. So sure. All right, the finances. It might not have been the best season, but your prudence definitely helped the club's finances. Okay, so it's giving you all, like, this is nice, because it used to just be in your inbox, right, where you just have all these things. It was like, here's an update, here's an update, here's an update, here's an update, and it's just dumping it all on you all at once. So reputation has not changed. No new sponsorship deals, which is fantastic. So it's kind of hard to tell if this is good or bad. It's kind of what was already there. McNeil, J. Rodriguez, he's leaving. Wilshire, Goodmanson, he's staying. Barnes, he's leaving. 60.53 of the total is non-domestic, so it sounds like we need to do a tour, my friends. How you lined up? Here we go. Okay. Yeah, Pope. And we got to find a replacement for Alonso and somebody up here. I think those are our gaps. I know I've talked about it last episode. We rotated the team a fair amount this season. However, our key players played a major role in how the season turned out. Cool. Player awards. Okay, fans. Okay, this is. Oh, there's a lot more. Oh, fans player of the season, Dwight McNeil. Young player of the season, Dwight McNeil. Signing of the season, Michael Olise. Really? We paid $9 million for him. I mean, he's got some like crazy potential, but paying $9 million from Reading for him. Oh, I can't hit back. That is annoying. Oh my goodness. We saw the goal of the season. Top goal scorer, Dwight McNeil. Most assists. Again, you'd think they'd be happy about that. Svensson with... It must have been 9 in league and like 1 in one of the cups, because it definitely said 10 on his screen. Player of the match awards, 6 for Dwight McNeil. Highest ever rating. Dwight McNeil's pretty good. Pretty good. Record breakers. Goals in a season and assists. That's kind of sad, isn't it, viewer? I mean, I know 10 assists is a lot and 15 goals is a lot, but it's like, you know, we got some people banging in like 20 and 25 in the Premier League, and it's been a long time. You know, 15? Ooh. Nick Pope, 10 or 12 clean sheets. Is that a record? Are all these records like in reality, or are they Burnley Football Manager records? And the highest transfer fee, is that really the highest transfer fee ever paid by Burnley? I don't know. Or is it just saying for... I'm curious. If you're a Burnley fan, I know we got some Burnley fans watching. Can you let me know? Have you ever had somebody score more than 15 goals or 10 assists and have better than 12 clean sheets? Have you ever paid more than 21 million? No? Okay, people. So I got to go through all this stuff. We already have transfer offers. Let's see, going outs. I don't remember doing this, but we've sold Ben Gibson for $8.75 million. I was kind of going to use him next season, but I guess we've sold him. I don't remember doing that. And we've got Ashley Barnes, again, who wanted to leave. We've got 2 offers. Norwich came in, and we finally agreed to $9 million with, well, I guess I could just show you, $2.5 million over installment. So we're getting his full value. And if he scores 30 goals, we get another $1 million. We're not providing any of his wages or anything like that. So I think that's a pretty fair deal. He's 31 and not going to get, I don't think, any better. We didn't play him consistently. He was a 6'8" with 5 goals and 27 total appearances, half of those being substitute appearances. So he's going. And then we were able to tell Bournemouth, like, listen, pay up. They wanted to offer $7.5 million. They both offered $7.5 million. It's almost as if the same part of the the Football Manager engine is still in place, where it's like, we're going to offer the exact same amount. It's like, really? Would that really happen? But at least we're able to say, like, pony up the cash if you want. We got a deal for 11.5 rising to 12.5 million. I think overall that's pretty good. The deal to sell Gibson, we're now at 12 million in transfer budget. If that deal for Barnes goes through, that would get us to 23 million. Do we just buy Alonso? I have no idea. All right, let's go. All right, for those of you who have been playing Football Manager 2021, you already know this, but I love these screens here. And I thought this was very interesting. It's showing, okay, well, that's a lot of data. Our expected goals per match, 1.4. So it's essentially tabulated the entire season, the expected goals of 43.2, and we scored actually 48. So you could argue we did a little bit better than expected. However, and same thing on the points, but that's rounding error, okay? And so it's saying based on expected points, which I'm assuming is based on our XG versus our opponent's XG, would be my guess. We should have finished 7th and we finished 8th. So I think that is actually fascinating. So, and then it shows you here, like Liverpool XG was 75.4 and they scored, I'm guessing, 78 goals. That's what that plus 13 means. Man City XG at 55.7, they scored 73, 74. So that's quite interesting. Leicester 3 points less than would be expected based on their expected points. I just think that's absolutely fascinating, to be completely honest with you. But these screens are just delicious. Like, this is a great addition to Football Manager. So I know this is the 11th episode, right, as we're going through the transfer window, but I think it's fantastic for if you've not purchased Football Manager 2021, you're like, ooh, check out the link in the description below. I'm partnered with Humble Bundle. It supports the channel and charity and gets you the same discount you get on Steam. So check it out. But this is pretty good. Completes a relatively average percent of passes. 91% average? I mean, come on. Conceded per game, expected goals. Yeah, defense. Yeah. I just want to point out that the board's vision remained pretty much the same. I'll show it to you here in a second, but includes developing, youth players for the first team. And our youth category rating has dropped from category 1 to category 2 after our youth setup has been reviewed by authorities. Hey, this might be bad. Hey. So I tried to, in the negotiations, remove the play direct football. It was the only thing. Everything else, I was like, I'll leave it. And they're like, nope. So fine. I guess you'll still be disappointed next season because it's just preferred. But, I mean, do we just go ahead and, if you look at the club info, right? Our youth setup, we got great youth facilities, youth level 2. I'm not sure if it's the youth facilities. I'm more interested in the coaching and recruitment. So let's go, let's just go ask for a lot, shall we? Okay, they'll get back with us shortly. And then I'm going all in. Where is it? Networking. They'll get back with me. And then, hey, our training facility, our youth facilities just got downgraded. You'd think they'd be all about it. Let's see what they say. Okay. Academy junior coaching budget increased. Youth recruitment increased. They've rejected the facilities. If I could put forward a compelling case, that should be pretty easy. Shouldn't it? Our youth level has just gone down. Let's see. I only have one thing to suggest. I'd like to improve the youth facilities at the club to give us the best possible chance of developing top quality players from within, which I might remind you, Mr. Garlic, is part of our vision. Okay. Get in. Yeah, they've rejected the bid. It's only 2.2. I mean, come on, mate. Come on. We in the season like 60 million, and we're gonna spend half of it from a transfer budget standpoint. Like, come on. I feel like I need to spend this like right now. Because I'm guessing 33 plus 12 isn't going to happen next season. But I have no idea. I guess we'll find out. Because I don't have anybody right now. I'm like, I have to buy them right now. Boom. We're going straight to the squad screen. I'm wearing a different shirt. It's a different day. I've just spent most of my day building a raised bed garden so we can grow vegetables next year. It's like 4 feet by 10 feet, which is approximately 80 meters by 600 meters. I don't know. So I'm quite tired, my friends, but you're already going like, those names, what are those names? Some of them are different. Yes, if this is what managing in the Premier League is like, I don't know if I like it. I don't know if I like where it's like, oh, spend some money there, spend some money there, spend some money there. Or is it the beta where they're giving too much money? I don't know. We're not going to always play the 5-2-1-2, but we have quite the run of games, my friends. Man United, Chelsea, West Ham, unknown Carabao Cup second round, Liverpool. I mean, that is a tough sled in August.
And Leicester and Sheffield United aren't exactly slouches either. So from there, it eases up a little bit, but we're going to probably play slightly more defensive to start the season. But enough of that, my friends. We've got 2 new strikers. We've got a new left back, and we've got an additional center back. You'll note that Nick Pope is still in goal. We'll talk about that. And we got some new names over here. So let me just take you straight to the transfer. Whoa, not that. The transfer screen. The transfer. There it is. We've spent $30.5 million. We still have, I know I'm going to be bouncing around a lot here, sorry. We still have $22 million in the bank from a transfer budget standpoint. Would love to buy a goalkeeper. Bored. Gonna talk about it. Not in the least bit annoyed. First off, we've already looked at some of these, but they're in varying levels of getting work permits. Rafa has a work permit. He could play. Sergio does not and cannot, and I would love if we could play him as like our Carabao Cup goalkeeper. I can't even get someone to take him on loan, except for there's a Portuguese club that wants him as a fringe player, and he's not interested, and I don't blame him. So we can apply for a new work permit on November 3rd. I mean, he gets to stick around the squad and, you know, train, but it's just kind of like, oh, it's annoying. He for some reason, it wouldn't even let me play him on our like friendlies tour. Is it because he's technically an employee of the club and it's like we're following English law in the United States because our tour is in the United States? I don't know. We've also signed Brian Pena. I think I showed him to you. His potential's a little bit lower than I was expecting, but we got all these guys on freeze, I think. He's also not gotten a work permit, and no one is interested in loaning him, and he's on 4.2k a week because I thought his potential was much higher. Rafa's on 3.2. Again, he's worth 225. We got him on a free. It's not a terrible thing. All right, first up, that left back, Lucas Olaza. He's 27. He's got 3 to 3.5 star potential, which is okay. But what I think in our system, that is important. He's got good acceleration and pace, so he can get up and down the pitch and help cover defensively. And he's got the technical abilities, right? He's got good crossing, pretty decent dribbling, decent first touch, really good passing to go with 12 vision, which is all right. He's all around, I think, a pretty balanced player for a Tiki-Taka style. Now, would we like more green? Sure. But he can nail a free kick as well. And if we need to have him cross the ball because we panic, sure, we could do that. We got him for $4 million from Vigo, I think. Yes. Or was... Yes. I don't think it was from Danubio. I should know these things, shouldn't I? But that's where he picked that's where our scouts picked him up. He was at Vigo. So overall, I think he's all right. He's not necessarily going to start all the games, even though give him an important player contract. He's on $36,000 a week. He's also going to be splitting time. We signed a Busquets. How about that? Oh, here they are. Jesus Gallardo, who's a 3.5. Not as technical, more physical, right? So he's got better agility and stamina. It's pretty similar pace acceleration. Can play up and down the park. We might be able to split some time and have him cover wing back to give Lucas, whatever his name is, some game time. I think he's a pretty good pickup as well. He's 26. The problem we run into is there's so many players like, oh, they're so good, but they can't get a work permit. And I can find a bunch of right backs, but finding left backs was a completely different ball game. But we finally found these two guys. We picked him up for $3.8 million from Monterrey. He's worth 12.75. That should be good for the future. Since we're on this previous screen, there are some additional signings. We did sign Clinton Mola not on 2 million, on 5 million, rising to 5.75. I thought, to make the board a little bit happy and to stop hearing complaints about his playing time. He's a squad player. He's still worth more than what we paid, and he's still got the potential. So I think he's all around good player to have around the squad. He's not now going to be expecting full-time minutes, and we can plug and play as we need to. So pretty excited about him. We've signed a player from Dundee United. It does mention the club here, doesn't it? We've signed Lewis Nielsen from Dundee United for $2 million, rising to $4.4 million. He's a center back that also plays 3 other positions decently well. I mean, he's only got 1 start for Hearts, but he's quite good. Look at that potential. 4 to 5 star potential for a Scottish center back. I'm pretty thrilled. 16 tackling. He's 18 years old. He could be taller. Sure. Not going to argue with there. But if we come back here, ball playing defender, he's got 13 first touch. Okay. 16 tackling, 15 passing, 13 vision. I think he's a stud. I think he's an absolute stud. I think he's undervalued. I think that value will go up, once he actually gets some game time with us. But we've loaned him back out because he was never going to start or really participate this year as a 2-star, but it gives him the opportunity to develop. And Hearts has got, I think it's excellent training facilities is the other reason that I selected them. Yes, excellent training facilities. So thrilled with that signing, to be honest with you. I think he's a bargain. Let's go to that striker you saw, Jose Juan Macias. You got to love a 3-named player. And I'm sorry if I butchered that. 21, keep the board happy. Can play inside forward on the left, or he's really better as an advanced forward, but we can play him and train him on a deep lying forward. Sure. He can also play in that 5-2-1-2. The system dictates for a out of the box tactic, says play a false 9, and he can do that too. He's got 16 finishing. Again, very technical technique players, right? 16 technique. Passing could be better if you're going to play in a Tiki-Taka style, to be fair. But really good determination. Overall, I think he's a solid pickup. Again, we paid 9.5 for him. He's worth 18.5. I think he's a bargain. 3.5 star. Again, when you think about the transfer window, we had gaps at left back, in terms of replacing Alonso, left back, goalkeeper, and really at striker and a half. And we've, I think, solved that problem. So, getting players from Stuttgart, Dundee United, Chivas, and Monterrey. And then if we hop forward from, where was he? Boca. It was Boca. Am I blind? It looked a little. Oh, I guess that's what the 3.5 means. Maybe that was after the loan he came on. I'm not sure, but we got him from Boca. Enjoy that content, my friends. Signing a Busquets, always a good time. 1.8 million. Picked him up from Barcelona. Well, Barcelona B, kinda. He did, to be fair, have 2 substitute appearances for Barcelona. Again, squad player. We paid, 1.8 million. 3-star with 4-star potential. Young player. Board's happy. Can play pretty much up and down the spine if we need him to. Fairly professional. Good mentals. Tries to play out of trouble. Brings the ball out of defense. For 1.8 million, again, it was kind of we got money, sure. Omar Alderete from Hertha. We got 2 players from Hertha. We'll get to the last one. Don't worry. Paid 5.75. Central defender. Could, in an absolute devastating time, play a wing back on support, I guess. Ish. 3-star with 3.5 star potential. Paraguayan, 24. Can play the ball playing defender. Not as well. He's definitely more of the vision hurts him there. But 16 heading and tackling when you're 6'2". Really brave. Really good physicals. 14.5 million value for 5.75 million player. They paid 8 million. We got a discount. I think we're upgrading across the board. We signed on loan. This is before Krzysztof Piątek. I listened to Google Translate. I think it said Piątek. Sure. Before that went through, I just wanted to make sure we had enough depth. And this guy was available. And he wants squad player minutes. And he's on loan. And we're just paying his wages. 16,500, which is peanuts at our level. 2.5 star with 4 or 5 star potential. Maybe he falls in love with us. He's got 2 years left on his deal. Just saying. He's not amazing. He's all physicals, which, maybe we just play him as a pressing forward. Go, run at him, or an advanced forward. He's going to have to learn how to play a deep lying forward a little bit. The first touch is going to let him down. But again, physicals, balance, strong, 6'2". Overall, for a guy that's on loan, no qualms whatsoever. And then this one. I wasn't sure if we needed to do this. But we kind of had the problem where our Mexican players got called into whatever it was, World Cup qualifying or the Gold Cup or some summer term. They were gone all summer, so they didn't have a chance to really kind of bet in. And I was like, oh, like we just have Chris Wood because we sold Ashley Barnes, and so he was unsettled at Hertha, and we got him for 19. They paid 22, so we're just robbing Hertha blind here. And I'm sorry, I think he's amazing. 26 years old. This isn't his favored position. Again, 11 passing is going to hurt him, but we can play him as a complete forward. He's 6 feet tall. He's at 16 heading. We're not going to change the system. He wanted his preferred position was actually a poacher, which you can see why. 17 finishing, 16 heading. Like, pretty darn good. 18 penalty taking. I don't know if I've ever had a player in any save with 18 penalty taking, but can play a pressing forward if we want to try that. Overall, very, very versatile. Can play the false nine. If for some reason we're going to do that too. So, thrilled to have him. 80 grand a week. Important player minutes. That's how it goes, people. So, let's go back to the end of last season, okay? So, who did we lose? Ashley Barnes on 11.5, rising to 12.5 to Bournemouth. Sayonara, see you later. I mean, there's nothing wrong with him, except that I just felt like he was going to start tailing off. So it's like, if you're going to get value, you had a year left on the contract, it's time to cash in. And so we cashed in, and I think you could, if we take the 11.5 million and we get this guy as a replacement, yeah, physicals maybe not quite as good, but he's 21 and his technicals are going to develop, right? And it keeps the board happy. I think it's a good deal. Ben Gibson's gone to Norwich for 8.75. I think I told you I don't remember doing that. Exeter has loaned a player of ours. That's Lewis going out, and then another Lewis going out, and Finlay Armstrong going out. None of these players that you know. And then we've let Josh Benson, Lucas Jensen, who's a backup goalkeeper, Anthony Glennon, who's a left back, and since I have yet to find any really, really good left backs, we extended his contract for a year and loaned him out just to give him a chance to develop. I don't think it's going to work out, but we gave him a chance. We sold Vidra. Well, we didn't sell Vidra, but we've loaned him out for garbage. They're essentially not even really paying his wages. So he's essentially leaving on a free, and you could argue, hey, you should keep, if the club's gonna have an investment of 12.5 million, you should try and get something out of it. I disagree. I just don't like him as a player, aside from being a good penalty taker. And we're getting what value we can out of him, which is not a lot. We're trying to minimize the damage from having signed him. There's several signings from like 3 or 4 or 5 years ago where you're like, what were you thinking? What value did you pay? Bobby Thomas has gone on loan for a total value of essentially his wages. Yeah, to Swindon. Jimmy Dunn has gone out on Sheffield United for essentially his wages. And then we sold finally Dale Stevens. This is actually decent business, kind of. We sold him for 2.1. We bought it for 1.1. This is deceiving because it essentially covered his wages. It was like all in transfer, like monthly transfer cost rather than covering the wages. So we're probably breaking even because we paid his wages for a little bit here. We might be actually breaking a little bit ahead. I'm splitting hairs over Dale Stevens. Who cares? But he's gone on, and I think it's a good move because he was never going to get the game time. So, this is what our team report looks like now from a squad depth standpoint. McNeil, still our best striker and attacking midfielder and left winger. Almada is our second best striker and second best attacking midfielder, and I think probably best right winger. We'll look at the other formations here. And then we've got Jose Juan Macias as the third, surprisingly ahead of Christoph. And then Chris Wood is down here. Chris Wood, yeah. We might have to drop him to squad player. Hopefully he's good with it. But then we've got Mendez, Wilshire, and Olise also in the attacking mids. McNeil's also our best midfielder. He's pretty much the best player at the club. Have you picked up on that yet? But also Blaise Mendez, Jack Cork, Wilshire, Svensson, who's our right back, is in the running to be a pretty good midfielder, which is kind of hilarious to me. Paolo Svensson and Brownhill as the emergency backup on the wing back side. Gallardo, Taylor, and Lucas. Taylor is gonna be hurting for minutes, I think, but you never know. Could get an injury crisis. And the good thing about these guys is they can kind of play up and up further on the attacking left if we need to. And then Tarkovsky, Ayer, Vavro, Omar, Ben Mee. I mean, keep going. Again, these below these, this is not accurate. I don't know. Maybe this is actually showing what the actual potential is. Maybe that's the bug. I don't know. But we've got, other options there as well. And Busquets he's not even making he's more of a DM, Busquets is. But, my friends, let me show you the goalkeeper I was trying to get. Well, besides Donnarumma, who's gone, of course, to Arsenal, he wasn't even interested in talking to us. I didn't even finish scouting. I was like, hey, you want to come? And he's like, nope. Like, cool. Dominic Livakovic looks to be a treat, my friends. It says he's available between 10 and 14 and a quarter. I offered 20 and they said no. And then I offered 30 because we had cash. And I was like, I just need a goalkeeper. And the board shut it down. And I was like, I even went down the path of, we really need to sign this guy. And they're like, sign him for us a smaller fee. And then once, of course, you've offered 30, his club is like, no. So... several other keepers that I even was thinking about Jiri Pavlenka, because it said his agent said he was available for about 8 million. He's not interested. Nobody is interested in coming playing goalkeeper for us, which is unfortunate in case you were unaware. We've yet to be able to find somebody. It's really kind of gutting, to be honest with you. So this is what our squad looks like. Now, let me go back to the team report. I'll show you the other formations through the 4-3-3. McNeil. Almada's going to be over here. McNeil's going to be over here. I can never in my head go, is it Jose Juan or Juan Jose? Jose Juan up top. Christoph, Chris Wood. We've got depth now. Now they're going to be competing for minutes, but I don't care. I like that we have depth. And we have the other formation where we can play 2 strikers, right? So that kind of should help us solve that problem a little bit against, hopefully, that works against the bigger squads. Mendez and Jack Cork and Wilshere. Wilshere's actually dropped down a little bit. He's trying to tail off a little bit. Should we sell him? Nah, I think you got to be pleased with the guy who gives you 35 starts, 1 sub on a 6-8-9 that you got on a free. I think we're just getting good value there. Although I wouldn't, if you were like flipping for 5 million in the winter window, we'll see where his physicals have ended up. And again, looking at the others here, Christopher Ayer is also like a darn good midfielder. So that is also kind of hilarious to me. Here's where Busquets comes in. So, I've been playing like in the 5-2-1-2. I've been playing. We've only come in to play it against Man United, to be honest with you. But Cork and Mendez, Cork being the more defensive of the players, Mendez being the like roaming playmaker, go have some fun guy. But if we play the 4-3-3, Cork can play here, or we can play Busquets, or Mola can play the DM, and that frees up Wilshere and Mendez to have the more attacking or the more roaming and advanced playmaker roles. And then I think our back line is now solid. You could argue, maybe the right backs need an upgrade again, but we just did that. And I think they just need game time to like really come into their own, to be honest with you. It's really this back line. So like, I kind of think we are going to have to just outscore our opponents a little bit, to be honest with you. Which I'm not sure how that's going to work out, to be honest. So let's go take a look at what everybody thinks of us. Season preview, 9th. Respectable. That'd get us our top half that the board wants. I think that's what the board... I remember all these things. I'm not exhausted from having, worked with my hands all day. Mid-table. They want a top half finish in the future. That's what it is. As you can see, we are improving our youth facilities and our youth recruitment and our junior coaching budget and all the things. And then really this is not what originally was shown, but now it's here. 5th round in the FA Cup, 4th round in the Carabao Cup, and sign players under the age of 23, which is different from last season, which I'm not sure what the difference is, but we'll take it. And I also think this is hilarious. Develop players using the club's youth system. Speaking of the club's youth system, we have gotten rid of some people, including, I guess it goes back to here. We got rid of Jonathan Pepper. I'm sorry. That youth intake, off you go. we'll see you later. We've signed your replacement. It's James Barkas, who's quite good. The rest are just, beefing up in places. We had some pretty poor scouts. He's a 9-11-11. Paul Wozni was what is that about? A 13-10-10. And we've replaced him with an 8-14-16. The judging the ability and the potential is important to me. I don't care if you're able to go fly around the world. And a 20-14-15 in Bernard Pfeiffer. And some coaches. But none of this is like super exciting. But we did kick our head of youth development to the curb. From a friendly standpoint, again, this was new for me. It asked me where I wanted to do the tour. There was a bunch of options. The United States was selected. I always do like the United States and China and go back and forth because, large markets for commercial revenue. And it showed, it set these for me. Like usually you have to set the friendlies on the tour. These were just set for me, which was actually kind of nice. I, don't really care who it is. We didn't play exceptionally well. That's the more concerning part against like lower league US teams. But then we came back and we smashed our affiliate club Accrington. We lost to Zult Waregem. Sure. And then we beat Anderlecht on a 3-0. So it's gone about as well, I think, as you could ask coming into this slate of games. So where do we go from here, my friends? I know that the morning you see this, the full version of the game is going to come out in like 2 days. I'm going to see this out for a little bit while also trying to put together some experiment stuff and my main save. And I'm going to try in between now and then put out a video about what is my main save and my plans for FM21. That's what we're going to do. I do have some patrons to get to. There's 3 of them. Thank you. I was honestly stunned. They all kind of came in together, so it really means a lot. But I want to kick off, the next episode, really the next season, with that thank you, because I don't want to be buried at the end of this rather long episode. But my goal for those of you that are new around here is to get to 60 patrons by the end of the month. That's a big task as of right now. We're sitting at 49. But if you're, 10, 11 episodes in, you're like, hey, I've enjoyed watching this. That's one way that you can support the channel. I've also got a link in the description to Humble Bundle because I'm partnered with them. If you haven't bought FM21 yet and it's coming out on Tuesday, then you can buy through that link and I get a small commission and part of your purchase goes to supporting charity, which I think is kind of cool. So where do we go from here, my friends? Here's what I'm thinking. As exciting as it would be to show you Man United and Chelsea and West Ham and Liverpool, I just don't know how that's going to go for us. I'd like to think we could get past our opponent in the Carabao Cup second round, but I don't again, the cup run is important to the board. And so I want to kind of bed our players in here for a little bit. So what we'll probably do will be a highlight reel of the Carabao Cup second round. At least we'll hope it's a highlight reel. And then I'll bring you back for the third round if we're in it. And fourth round will come maybe in the next episode. Again, maybe a combo with that and somebody down in here. But we do need to get the save going because I'm not going to play with Burnley forever. But I think this is fascinating, to be honest with you. Tiki-Taka style. I'm really curious. I'm going to bring these back up for you so you've got them handy. What do you think of the signings? That's the staff. Let me show you all of them. What do you think of the signings? Have we improved the squad enough to get to that Europa League spot? Some of you had predicted that last episode on the comments, which I hope I don't let you down. But if you're enjoying this, my friends, again, likes tend to fall off, right? As people watch this the episodes and they keep going, they're like, oh, I don't need to hit like button. It really does help out if you do, especially with the launch of the game coming. So if you can smash that like button, subscribe if you're new. And we'll see you next time for hopefully a Carabao Cup second round highlights reel and the third round against Unknown FC. Thanks to these patrons that are coming up. We'll see you next time. Thanks.